Original documents to all of the immigration. Hey, and we are live. So today we have a super interesting topic. Here with Sarah Elena. We're trying to do a weekly podcast for you guys, for the expat community, to share different ideas, thoughts, experiences about what's to live abroad, what's to live in Costa Rica. My name is Pablo Arias with International Relocation Partner, and I'm basically on an international shipping company that specializes on the expat community. And I let Sarah introduce herself, tell us what you do, and then introduce us to this topic.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. I work with people in relocation here in Costa Rica. So we kind of either work with people through their scouting trips, if they're coming down to check out the country, figure out if they want to live here, what area. And then, of course, through all the major logistics of relocation, like residency, where they're going to live, long term rental search, phones, and you name it, we cover it. It's definitely A to Z, one on one, and group style support as well. So yeah, it's been fun coming on here once a week with you and just kind of discussing these different topics, and hopefully people can learn from it. And I think today's one is one that we've been putting off for a bit. We've had the idea for a while, and then was it last week or 2 weeks ago you weren't ready, and then last week I wasn't ready. We were like, neither of us were ready to do the topic, but I think we're ready to tackle this one, which is hopefully entertaining for other people.
I bet it is an entertaining thing. I guess, when you guys are moving abroad, uh, oftentimes, and this is a need to me, is like it is actually a need to connect with them. I mean, we all have this need to connect with other people. And I see many people that they do this international move, and they're singles, and they come and they live perhaps in Hermosa, or they live perhaps in San Jose or in Guanacaste. And there is always this need of meeting somebody and connecting with other people, like-minded people sometimes, or maybe somebody from Costa Rica, and somebody from Canada could date a Costa Rican, or somebody from the States could date a Costa Rican, and there are going to be many different challenges. It's going to happen. It's going to happen, I tell you, because I've been, for about 3 years and a half, single, kind of like trying to meet people and so on. And it's difficult in your own language and in your own country. I mean, it's tough out there. And this is an interesting topic that I wanna tackle. And I know if you are now in another country with a language barrier, you're gonna have some additional challenges. Do you had any challenge? Because I know you, Sarah, I know you've been in Costa Rica for a long, long time. Like, what's now, 7 years?
Almost 8 years. It'll be 8 years
Uh-huh.
in September. So, yeah. So, pretty much since moving to Costa Rica, I've only dated Costa Ricans. So, I do have a lot of experience in this field now, 8 years
Oh my God.
of only being with Costa Rican people. Um, so, yeah, I mean, I think relationships can be challenging in general. So, yeah, when you add in different culture, a whole different, like, really different culture, different language, there's a lot of misunderstandings that can happen. And it is just, you do have to learn the cultures, what to do, what not to do. And then there's even different subcultures depending on where you are in Costa Rica in terms of dating. So that makes things more complicated. I guess just like other countries as well. Like there is more of a beach culture of dating versus, well, even just, there's a subculture of people who live in and around San Jose. So that can be a little bit complicated. But yeah, I mean, so far, it's just like anywhere, and dating anywhere, you get some good ones, you get some not so great ones, and it's definitely been an adventure, that's for sure. Well, Pablo, why don't you're more experienced in the app world? I will explain. Well, I guess I'll tell you my experience with apps. I'm not experienced with dating apps hardly at all. I did download one like a few months ago or weeks ago. I don't remember. We did it kind of as a joke. And I think I talked to like 3 people and I gave up. 2 people recognized me on there. One person recognized me from YouTube. Another one
Wow.
was someone I had worked with who then messaged me and was like, "Hey, I see you're getting back out there," and I was like, "Oh God,
Ah.
get out of here." So haven't really opened it since, and I just don't prefer them to be honest. Yeah, so that's where I'm at least with the apps. I'm not very experienced. I don't have time for it. I don't have the mental
The
capacity.
energy.
I might respond 2 weeks later. I'm not good at that.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, it's difficult to use these apps. It's an entire different envi- uh, uh, it's an entire different world. I just have to say that way, and it's not easy for anyone. And then, by the way, I wanna encourage everyone and everybody who is listening, and I see we have some audience to make questions, to share your experiences. Maybe you want to share a little note. I use this app here, or this is what happened. And I wanna, I'm challenging myself. This is very personal. I actually closed these things, but today I downloaded. I don't know if you can see here. I downloaded the apps again for you guys. By the way, I have some matches there. What is that? Nine on Bumble and 17 on Tinder. Wow. So I downloaded this to show you guys how these things work. What is it about this? And this could be a tool. I mean, let's just be like, let's give it like the most, I guess, let's be good with the apps, and they could be good. You can meet people and it could be interesting, but there is a lot of things that you need to be worried about and you need to concern. I will say that your privacy, not putting too much information out there, maybe things like that. But today I want to show you, and I just want to show you. Can you see my screen? That's my screen right there. Yeah, if I do this, yeah, that's my
Yeah, we can
screen.
do. And
There you go.
in terms of like privacy and stuff, also keep in mind these towns are so small. Like you will probably see someone on there and then be like walking into the supermarket and be like, "Oh, that's that person I saw." Like the towns are very like at least like especially around the more rural beach towns, anything kind of outside of San Jose, I consider a bit more rural. The towns are small. Like you're gonna actually literally recognize someone on the street that you saw in the app. Like it's yeah.
And that's, also you're gonna feel, you're losing your privacy out there. I mean, especially you're a girl, women, single, and then you have you don't even know who you're meeting in these apps, and then just out of the blue finding that person at the supermarket or any place, you might it might not be good. So you need to be careful. So for this exercise, let's say this is something good for you to meet good new people. You can meet good new people also at a bar or at the disco, or maybe sunset. We can join the sunset cult that you guys have in Hermosa and Jaco, and people go
All the
to or Uvita. You go to the sunset, and then you meet a lot of people, grab a beer, and then you meet people. But uh, if you are not into any of that, maybe you're an introvert having an app, or like me, I'm a very busy guy. Like if you don't know me, I'm running like five gigantic, big ass projects at the very same time. So when I'm kind of like, finish my day or whatever, I can just play with this and see, let's see what else, let's see what's there. And I asked this question yesterday in a couple of expert groups, and this is why we're getting such a such a big audience. What are the apps people are using? And for the most part, I think these are the two most popular ones. Um, so, and there are a couple of different differences. I think Tinder has been in the market for a very long, long time, many years. Um, so let me show you here. Hey, by the way, would you match that, Sarah? It's like, what would you do, right or left?
I wouldn't even be on Tinder. That's what I if we're gonna be honest. Oh no, Frank, I did not get my margaritas for this episode. I was
Yeah,
promised
yeah. So
margaritas to do this, but
I
no.
know.
But yes, let's look through your profile. I will give you a good. Let's look at the review. The first thing that I noticed about your profile was that you put your height. That kind of gave me a little chuckle because if any
Okay,
of you don't know, Pablo is tall.
it's about 6'2".
Yeah, he's considered tall. Pablo's a tall guy. You're always very positive and working. You're looking for your goals. You're very selective with your time, and you're looking with you want Yeah, people with culture, educated, intelligent. Oh, you already put the translation. Okay, so I mean, the description is, yeah, you're very, I think it's accurate to who you are.
So
I know you,
I'm not lying, right? That's kind of like what I mean.
it's
You know
very
me
accurate.
for like 3 years. It's kind of like, yeah,
You should be extroverted and social. You're missing that. You're very extroverted and social.
I guess maybe sometimes. And then I just uploaded some pictures. And this is what you do: you download one of these apps, you put some pictures out there, and I try to put some like pictures from like whatever, like funny things or things that look exciting or whatever. I don't know if I guess to tell you the truth, it kind of works. Like I meet people with these things. I don't have time to go out, but I do meet people with this. Is here. Here, I am in Praga, and that's Germany. Yeah, Berlin. And here, that's my sexy picture. What about that one?
That one looks like you're driving. You're doing a great job. Yeah, it's a lot of good attitude. This one is very candid.
That's funny.
I mean, yeah, lots of travel pics, shows you're adventurous, professional.
Anyway, but what I'm not showing here is my belly. I just try not. I cut it like here so nobody could see my belly. Um, but that's okay. So that's one of the apps. It's kind of like very popular. But once again, you can use this thing. And also, you see this blue check mark there. That's like you basically certifying that that's your actual identity. So people could choose not to talk to a person who doesn't have this check mark. It's one of like the things you could do, and it's I guess it's okay. It's okay. One of the things I don't like about this particular app is um, you have a lot, and I'm sorry to say this. I'm gonna say something horrible. Um, I'm gonna take it off the screen. I'm sorry to say this, but a lot of the people that you see in Tinder, perhaps, is at least from the guy's side. I don't know from the female. And you may say, your opinion if you ever use this or the other whatever other app. But in my side, I meet or I see a lot of ladies looking for a sugar daddy. Like that's the description type, looking for a sugar daddy, which I hope I'm not a sugar daddy. At least I don't want to be a sugar daddy. Um, or I also see prostitution on these apps, like from the guy's side. And this is why ladies are having such a horrible experience, because on the guy's side, you see, one good professional lady who is trying to build a real relationship, but you see nine other ladies, or maybe just pictures of ladies, asking for a sugar daddy or asking for money, or they're offering sexual services. And that's like very common in Tinder. I seen it happen in Tinder more often. And also very common in Panama. So that's kind of like, yeah, so it's, but I would like to show you this other one. This is the other, let me see. So this is the other app that it's out there. Again, I downloaded this for this exercise. I actually had closed these things. Um, this is this other one, and this is like my profile here, which is like copy paste from the other one. It's kind of like the same thing with a picture of the airport, but this one has a kind of like a different dynamic to it. So the advantage, I will say, for the lady and for the privacy of the ladies is that if I do match somebody, I like somebody because I saw the profile. I think she's smart and she's got good pictures. She looks good or whatever. I can match somebody, but it doesn't allow me to talk to that person. It allows the lady to wait for 24 hours so she can review my profile, and she's the person who has to make the first move. And this kind of leave an additional level of kind of like, I will say privacy, or I will say like additional tool to the ladies to kind of pick and choose who do they want to talk to, or really go to that profile. And I think it's interesting. And now what happened is, because it's so hard to talk to people, it kind of makes an additional level of difficulty to talk to another person. I noticed on this app, you don't see that many like solicitation, like prostitutes or things like that. It's a little bit more clean, a little more people looking for formal relationships, or so it's a little bit better. I'm not saying it's perfect, and once again, this particular new way of life, it's complicated. I mean, it's not an easy thing to have. I mean, some people, it's just, it's not for everyone. before this before this, I talked to like a few friends, and my brother Andres. I was like, hey, what do you think about this? Do you want to come to this and share your experience? And everybody's like, no, I don't want to be in this, Facebook live. And I asked a few people, like five people, hey, would you want to go and comment about your experiences with this? And nobody wanted to do it, so here I am, taking it for the team. And what's interesting is, like, I ask people, and some people out there think this is like horrible. Like, actually having a dating app is a red flag, and it's not a good thing. It's like, you don't want to date nobody who has a dating app. And I don't know, I had then, and I actually meet some very good people. Now, I do have kind of like a strategy behind, everything I do here. Kind of like, maybe it's because I'm a salesperson, or a marketing kind of guy, or at least I have some experiences on how, like, maximizing my time or so on. So I kind of put information out there, but I make it very clear that I want to talk to educated people, or people that's got something to say that is good, and so I don't just match everyone or connect with anyone. I actually take the time, kind of like review if it makes sense, and if I think that person has something to say that is important, that is going to add value to my life, then I may match. So I kind of like, yeah, have my own little ways, and then even after that, I don't waste too much time. If I match with somebody, I want to say, well, let's go for a coffee, because you don't want to talk to somebody for like weeks. Um, so it's interesting. So I have a bunch of comments. I don't know if Natalia wants to share some of these comments on the screen, and we can entertain those. Let Sarah, you read some of those, and see if we can expand on this a little bit.
Yeah, we can look through them. And
Interesting.
my view on dating apps, like, I don't know. I don't, like, for me, they're just not for me. I think because you're in an area too where, like, again, you're more of a city. You're in the area where the most highest concentration of Costa Ricans are. I'm not. Like, I can just walk down the street, or I can walk to the beach and meet somebody if I want. So here it's like not everybody knows everybody. You still always meet new people, but it's not such a giant pool of it's not such a giant ocean of fish out there, if you know what I mean. Like, it's, for me, it just makes way more sense just to go out and live my life and meet someone in person. Plus, me, it's important that the person would live in my town or close to me. So I don't really need to be on a dating app to find people that are close to me. They're all probably at Sunset. You know what I mean? So, our Sunset cult that we have going on here.
Yeah.
I don't like for me, I guess I don't really like the instant gratification part of it, of just swiping and swiping and swiping. First of all, I don't have time for it. I don't feel like doing it. I think it can be a little bit superficial. Of course, you have to be attracted to somebody and to, like, even consider anything. But I don't know. Maybe it's just part of the instant gratification culture of, like, oh, there's always something new. There's always something new. I don't need that.
100%.
It's a shinier version somewhere else. And I do see around the beach culture, with a lot of tourism coming in and out, dating can be difficult because there's always new people coming in, always new people coming in. So people who kind of like that stuff, it's a good area for it. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my views on it. But I'm always curious about different topics, and I think it's definitely an interesting one. And it's interesting to see why some people may or may not use it in one area of the country, but they might feel more inclined to use it in another area. Okay, so some of
I
the
mean,
comments. Oh,
as technology, as technology is more accessible to everyone, these things are gonna come. Once again, I make this question in expert groups. There are many other ones. Somebody mentioned Grinder, which is if you like guys or like girls. There is a gay apps. So there is like a big variety of things people could use. Once again, this is not for everyone, and it also could lead into a big risk. It's not safe. It's, you're putting your name out there, you're putting your information out there. Uh, so you might want to be careful. Of course, if you're gonna go out with somebody and grab a coffee or something, have to find a place where it's really like public, and then you're safe. Never go to nobody else's house for whatever reason if you don't spend time knowing that person ahead of time. Things like that. Just have common sense on this on these things. Um, you know, I do think, as an expat, who somebody who's living abroad to somewhere else, these are interesting tools, but just be careful out there. Uh, and if you are, I mean, you can do many other things. You might want to look for, you know go to church, or go to, any activity where you can meet other people, maybe practice sports, or maybe get into, different recreational activities where you can meet more people. And that's only fair, and that's good as well. Another challenge that I see with these apps, especially in a town like Hermosa, or maybe touristy location, is that you have a lot of people that is getting for 2 or 3 days vacations, or maybe a week vacation, and they are like leaving. So you end up meeting people who are tourists. I mean, they're not there for a relationship. They're just there to have fun. So you may end up getting, into like, okay, let's go out, let's go for a drink, or what. It doesn't. It's not gonna be more than casual sex, and a lot of people may think this is for casual sex, and it's not. I don't think it's for casual sex. You can actually make good connections with people. Um, and I once again, I talked to a few people and a few ladies, friends, about this, and some of them say, their experiences are horrible meeting guys. So if you're a guy using these things, be smart. Don't be a dumbass. Don't be retarded. Be polite. Have common sense. Do not cross the line. Somebody, you need to have some social skills. You need to be able to develop trust with somebody, be friendly, uh, just have some common sense. Otherwise, you're gonna end up, scaring the ladies. And this is what I see in a lot of guys will go out there just kind of like stalking ladies, and sending messages once they get their WhatsApp or their Instagram, sending messages 10 times a day, things like that, like kind of like freaky, kind of like crazy. So just be careful out there. Yeah, I think that's our topic for today. We had a lot of comments. A lot of people were, you know asking, for this. I'm really happy that we did it. It's been 22 minutes. If you want to add something else, Sarah. If not, we call it for the day.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a good one to talk about dating apps. Like perhaps we could go more in another live about the actual experience of it, some of the actual cultural differences, at least I've observed, and maybe some of the nice things that you learn from dating someone from another culture too. I mean, it helps you
Yeah.
get integrated into the community in a lot of ways. I always have a joke, like people be like, "Oh, how did you learn such good Spanish?" And I always say, like in Spanish, like thanks to all my Tico ex-boyfriends, I now speak Spanish. It's just a funny thing, um, but yeah, I mean, it can be a great thing, but again, it can be also a little bit of a complicated thing too. And I don't know. I came into this country a little bit with my rose-colored glasses, and definitely learned my lessons pretty quick. And but no, it's a good thing. I think there's a lot to learn from the other culture, and it can also be a very beautiful experience too.
Thank you. Amazing. And just right quick, this is an interesting question. I don't think they are, but you can go into any of this and set up your profile to only meet people over 50 years old, or whatever age range you want. So you can select that. Just to answer this question, I think is very valid.
Mhm.
And thank you so much, Sarah, for another live, talk. We wanted to do this every week. Sarah and I, we want to help the expat community. She helps with the process of moving to Costa Rica, setting things up with education, with her online course, with her one-on-one, with the rentals, with many things. I do international shipping for expats, and I think we're very conscious how hard this thing is. Just moving abroad is not a walk in the park, and just things like that. How to connect with other human beings in another country, I think is useful. Thank you so much. It's been great. Give me a high five. Ban.
Bye.